Okay, welcome back. We've got this new probe. This is a 3mm by 35mm probe, and we're going to replace it. It's a bean probe. We're going to replace this existing one. This is 5mm, so I don't know, we're going to figure it out. So let's see how difficult it is or easy it is to install. This is my fidget 1048_0 for input. We're going to replace this guy. Alright, wow, okay, check that out. That was the original probe, and this is the new probe. Can you see that? I think I've read on forums that if you're having some weird readings, you can clean this, put it back, and maybe your readings should be maybe less noisy or less whatever. Okay, so you know that blue tape that was there? I'm going to leave it there because it kept this from moving in and out. And we'll just keep it there. We have our fidget. It's yellow on the left, red on the right. Okay, that looks wrong. Okay, let me switch it. Hold on. Okay, red on the left, yellow on the right. Let's see. Whoa, what's going on? BT now reads 200, that looks correct. Well, it was cooler, obviously, but they're going at the same time. I think that looks correct to what I'm used to seeing. We've got the two lines going up as the fuel is going up, so that makes sense. Versus the other one, I think it was going down, right? So, yeah, just like common sense. Even though there's no instructions, so I was like, I don't know if I'm really doing it right. Okay, let's roast. Okay, this is crazy looking. Look at this R1. It's so sensitive that it's getting over 40? That's crazy. What the heck? No smoothing, okay. So we're gonna look at this when it's fully done, but let's just let it do its thing. Let's see what's up. Hey, welcome back. So there you go. We saw the new probe installed. Took a look at the old probe and it was dirty as heck. So I want to take you through some of the changes that I'm seeing and if anything changes in the cup. High accuracy thermocouple from Mill City Roasters. They have a different one. It's the not, I guess, high accuracy one. It's more like a replacement part. I got this one, the 3mm by 35mm, and that fits in my 1 kg 2019 model. So all manual, no digital. I don't know if that makes a difference. Let's see what Tommy had to say. Made a dramatic difference in the temperature readouts on the data logging software. I had to reprofile every bean I roast. Yeah. Sounds like a pain, but extremely grateful for extra sensitivity in the readouts, knowing I'm getting far more accuracy than before. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just roasted it with it today, so it's not like I have a lot of experience with it. But the reason why I got it was like, well, I could never get a peak RWAR above 30 without really pushing the machine and feeling like I'm just trying to reach this number, which that didn't make sense to me, right? But what intrigued me to go for something with more quote-unquote sensitivity or more quote-unquote accuracy was the fact that, hey, if this can improve the quality of my cup, and I have more access, I guess, to my machine, then I'm down, I'm game. And I got on the phone with Mill City Roasters, and they talked about a $25 one, which is on here too. And you have to go to replacement parts and tools, and you'll find it there. This particular one is under data logging. The $25 one was out of stock, so I didn't get that one. But I didn't want to wait for it, so I just went for this $60 one, which I still felt was pretty affordable in terms of a an upgrade to the machine. Okay, so here you're seeing a roast that I did today. Look at the peak ROR on both of these. They're way different. There are a couple things I had to change. I had to extend my graph. Not a big deal. That was basically it. I still charge from the PID, okay, not from the new readout that I'm getting here or anything like that. I still charge from the PID. But yeah, big difference on the turning point, which I noted in my notes. Typically my turning point is around here, 148, but now it's around here, 123. So about 20 seconds more sensitive, I guess, or faster in terms of the turning point. So what does that mean? It means that I can now see that my roast, the way that I have been roasting it, is running faster than I thought it was. 20 seconds faster than I thought it was. And I would say 20 seconds is significant. 10 seconds is significant already, right? So this is a doubly significant. So, okay, let's keep going. So I was like, okay, we're seeing a pretty high, crazy peak ROR, which, you know, I didn't really like to change the way that I roast something just based on the graph that I was seeing that other people were doing, having these really high ROR values. I was just like, I'm just going to roast the coffee and get it to where I want it to taste. And if I want to push it even more, that's where I felt limited, because I felt like I had topped it out. Like, this is my peak ROR on this particular green, on this particular profile. We're not getting really above this unless I want to push it and then possibly tip the coffee. So it turns out, if this probe is actually telling the truth, or more accurate, right? I had been reaching a high ROR value. It's just that the probe was not able to report it correctly. So it's the reporter, it's the reporting, or it's the measurement that was quote unquote off. Now, the reason why I keep like putting things in air quotes is because all these numbers just give me a feeling of like, accurate to what? To what it's supposed to look like, or it's just are these new numbers, these new these new like readouts and measurements just going to be my new standard? So now, like, whenever I'm talking about my peak ROR, it may now match people that maybe have this same, you know, high accuracy probe, but it didn't necessarily mean that my coffee was inferior to theirs. Okay, I don't believe that yet. Maybe that is true, but I don't believe that yet. I'll keep roasting with it and such. This is just telling me that I've been, and I could be wrong. Like, you guys could let me know in the comments and stuff. That's cool. Like, give me more clarity, because I'm just a little like, it was that off? Why would they do that to me? You know, like, and then I get the feeling, it was like, it's not necessarily off. It's just like how you're interpreting the measurement. So the measurement can read whatever. I hope this is making sense. In my mind, it kind of is. The measurement can read 40 ROR, 31 ROR, whatever. You're still going to try to get the most flavor out of this coffee for this particular roast profile. Does that make sense? I may be like overthinking it. I probably am. But okay, so there you go. We're getting a quicker turning point. We're getting a pretty normal green to yellow transition. I marked this late. So I was finagling with something. I was like confounded by something. I remember this morning. And so I marked my green to yellow transition late. Okay, so don't kind of really mind that, all right? First crack was around 840. So typically I hit first crack in my roasts a little bit earlier, which you can see here in terms of temperature, 371, 372, and that was kind of the norm for me. And now I'm hitting more of a standard, you know, like industry standard of hitting first crack, which is around 380. So I'm like happy to see if what I read about in a book a long time ago is kind of matching up to that. Okay, now the drop, I was able to reach a higher bean temperature upon dropping in a faster time for sure. See, we're at 9:37. So this is my light roast for sure. So I'm looking at the bean still. I'm still looking at its development. I'm still looking for, this is a light roast. I'm looking for slight crags and craggles in the coffee, and I don't want it to be too puffed up, and I don't want this finishing temperature to really go like reach 400 or anything like that. I think 390 is a really safe area to be in with this particular coffee. It likes a little bit more development. But typically what I've been putting out there and putting it out there at a later time, according to this, and at a little bit lower temperature at 388. I go 388, 389, 390 like that. Like that's my margin of, that's my range of okay for light roast for this particular coffee. But here I can reach a higher percentage apparently with this new probe, and I can get there faster. So that means I can develop a light roast and reach an even higher temperature within not too long of a time. So what I'm thinking is this new high accuracy thermocouple is giving me the ability to fine tune things even more. Okay. So for those of you who are like just starting out, is like, should I get that? Should I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. This is my first time roasting with it and seeing the difference that it's doing to my profiles that I've had and what I've been used to in the last, year and a half, 2 years now. So, if Tommy says he has to reprofile every bean that he roasts, sounds like a pain, but extremely grateful for extra sensitivity. I don't mind doing that. That's fine. But what does that mean? Am I just doing it because it looks cooler? Like the software is telling me more information, so I deem it better? No, right? Obviously, that's a redundant question. You still have to taste it in the cup and see what is all this new information or all this like in-depth information or accurate information going to do for the cup in the end of the day, right? That's what we started with. That was the goal. Are we going to get better quality cups because we have more information? Potentially. But I don't know that yet because I've just tasted it right now. A little too fresh right now. I can tell the difference between both roasts. One is light, one is medium. A customer ordered light, medium of the same coffee. I was like, perfect time to test this. Still roasting it with my roaster's knowledge, looking at the bean, looking at the timing, looking at temperature and stuff. So what is this really giving me as a roaster? I'm not sure yet. That's the question, and that's what we're going to document, and I'll share that with you guys. And you guys can let me know if you've done the same upgrade to your roaster and what it did for you and how it really changed did it change your philosophy on roasting? Did it make your cups better, your cup quality better? Right now, I can see that the potential of this is that, okay, if I potentially have more range, more depth with the information that I have at my disposal now can I go and roast something more tricky? Can I go roast something more more nuanced? That's kind of like my goal with this is like, okay, does that mean I can have more skills or more decision power and then utilize that with different kinds of coffees so that I can really bring out their flavor? Because I hope what it's not going to become is like being a crappy golfer, buying expensive clubs, and then expecting to be a good golfer. I'm sure that's not the case, right? But so that's how I don't want to approach it. So I'm just trying to keep myself in the guardrails. Let's think deeply on this and see where this new information will take us. Okay? So yeah, in the cup, I didn't taste any real difference because I actually didn't have a an older roast or something. The only difference I would venture to guess right now at this time, I feel like I don't have all the information in terms of judging cup quality. I think we'll just have to keep moving forward and keep looking back at old notes and kind of seeing and just seeing if I can pick up the pattern of this new difference and seeing what significant things it's going to do or have done in the cup quality. Okay. We will see you in the next one. It's interesting. Let me know in the comments if you've done the same thing and upgraded your thermocouple. Links will be in the description of everything I mentioned. See ya. Peace.